SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live was a decent show. I like SmackDown Live much better than I like Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're breaking down wrestling shows from first, second to third, you'll probably say NXT 1, SmackDown Live 2, and Monday Night Raw number 3. So that's just my opinion about it. So Monday Night Raw, we see that the Usos are now the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and they will take on The Miz and Shane McMahon in a rematch at Fastlane. I don't understand this. You got all of these different tag teams on SmackDown Live. You got teams like Sanity, who are barely on television. You got teams like the Good Brothers, who are barely on television. You got teams like the Colognes, who are not on television. I mean, I just don't understand why they have to put a McMahon on television all the time, man. Like, honestly, man, your tag team division is teetering right now. And I even forgot to mention the New Day. I forgot to put the New Day in there. So you got these other tag teams out there that are worthy and can put on quality matches, and you're busy trying to put Shane McMahon on TV. Look, man, Shane McMahon, I love Shane. I love Shane. I like the heart. I like the passion. When he gets inside of the ring, he doesn't have a catch-as-can style, as what Jim Ross would say, but he goes out there and he does his best. But I don't want to see Shane McMahon on television all the time. There's only so many times I want to see him jump from the ring onto an announce table. There's only so many times I want him to go coast to coast. There's only so many times I want him to hit a shooting star press or jump off a cell. Look, that's cool and all, but Shane McMahon does not deserve to be in any title pictures, man. That is so played out. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Now, back in the day, it was shocking, Shane McMahon walking around with the European Championship and all that. Look, that's cool, but in 2019, man, get somebody else on TV that is worth your time. And I feel like that is one of the main issues with WWE that I just cannot stand. I can't stand that, man. When you got Sanity, you got the New Day, you got the Good Brothers, teams that people can actually invest in, and you're busy dealing with Shane McMahon and The Miz. I mean, the Usos deserve better than that. And to be honest with you, so does The Miz, man. The Miz need to be somewhere battling for the United States or the WWE Championship, man. That's what needs to be going down. But they will have their rematch at Fastlane. Hopefully the Usos will just beat them, and that'll be it, and we can just move on from this. And then we seen a guy who I feel like had championship written all over him, Andrade Cien Almas. He took on Aleister Black, which when I look at it, I feel like it's kind of weird now. If you follow, WWE superstars on social media, you would know that Andrade Cien Almas' manager, Zelita Vega, is actually married to Aleister Black. So it's kind of funny to want the guy that you're managing to beat your husband, So I would wonder what would be going through Zelina Vega's mind at a time like that. Of course, she probably wants Cien Almas to win. She has to act that way. But deep down inside, she probably happy as I don't know what that her husband is making his SmackDown debut. So I think that it was a good match, man. And Aleister Black, once again, had a good showing. I think that this was a better showing than his match with Elias. Cien Almas, man, this guy's a champion, man. I'm telling you, he got championship written all over him. He got that Eddie Guerrero type vibe to him, man. He got it. Like, I know WWE for years have been looking for that guy who can be that next Eddie Guerrero. Man, Cien Almas, he definitely is it, man. If they can just put some momentum behind him, get him a couple good matches. We seen what he can do when he was in the ring with AJ Styles and with Rey Mysterio. The guy is a man. He's incredible. I like Cien Almas, man. Probably one of my favorite new superstars right now. But Aleister Black gets the victory over Cien Almas, and good showing between both of them. Then we had DIY, Ciampa and Gargano going up against the Bar. This was a good match right here. The Bar didn't seem like they were taking DIY seriously when they came to the ring. They were laughing at him and stuff like that. Like, man, please, man, y'all think y'all doing something in NXT? Man, y'all in the big leagues now. So DIY goes into the ring. A good back and forth match. A very dangerous spot happened in this match. Tommaso Ciampa tried to do a rolling power bomb on Sheamus, and his leg got caught underneath. And Sheamus is about 260 pounds, man. So, I mean, it was an ugly fall. Sheamus landed like right on Tommaso Ciampa's knee. And it's just a miracle he was able to walk up out of there, man. A lot of people thought that he probably tore something, but luckily, I mean, if you look at it at the very last minute, he kind of maneuvered his knee just in the right time, man, to make sure that there wasn't any serious damage. But it was a good match. DIY get the victory over the bar, and I think that Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, once again, these guys are going to be some stars, man. They are going to be some stars, no doubt about it. The chemistry that these two guys have is almost like similar to where you see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You know, you can always put these two guys together. You can put them in a tag team, and there's good chemistry. You can put them one-on-one against one another, and it's going to be good chemistry. So, good match, good showing by Gargano and Ciampa. Then we have Ricochet coming over once again. Now this time he's on SmackDown Live taking on Eric Young. And I feel like Eric Young was not the right person for this match. First and foremost, Sanity hasn't been on TV and I don't know how long, okay? So you have people in the crowd right now that probably don't know Eric Young from Darren Young from Steve Young, okay? So why would you even put these guys in a match together? Now I understand there's probably some NXT ties or something like that, and Eric Young is a seasoned veteran, so he knows how to get people over. Look, I understand all that, but Sanity needs to be on television winning matches. You are not going to have people care about this faction if they're losing matches. Right now, there's some jobbers, all right? I like Ricochet. I think that him and Eric Young have good chemistry. I think it was a good, solid match. But I think they should have put somebody else on television, maybe like Rusev or something like that, you know, or even like Aiden English. I mean, somebody that could go out there, have a good showing, sell for Ricochet and make him look like $1 million that's not named Eric Young. Of course, Ricochet gets the victory with the 630, one of the best finishers in WWE right now. Ricochet goes back to NXT, in my opinion. I don't think that this is going to be a regular thing. I think that this was just to show the WWE fans who these guys are, and also get them to watch and tune in to NXT. So Ricochet did get the victory over Eric Young, but I did not. I repeat, I did not like that at all. And then we had Asuka, man. Asuka coming out, a person who is a champion who hasn't been on television. And we see her come out to the ring, and the interviewer is in the ring, and they ask her about Charlotte and Ronda Rousey main event in WrestleMania. And then you got Becky Lynch coming in from the crowd, and Asuka's like, I don't worry about that. I just want to know who's ready for Asuka. And out comes Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And Mandy Rose says that she's ready for Asuka, of course, and she gets in the ring, and Asuka takes on Mandy Rose. Now, Mandy Rose, I think that she's probably about a year away from where she needs to be. I mean, a lot of people are saying that she's green as grass, but, I mean, she showed a lot of promise. She showed a lot of promise in this match, man. So I think that she's maybe like a year away from being a more credible opponent for Asuka, but I mean, she put a good showing on. I mean, she ended up winning a match after she pretended like Asuka poked her in the eye, and she got the roll up. We also seen Lacey Evans come out and do her. I don't know what's going on with that, but she comes out. Her music hits. She walks to the end of the ramp and then walks back up. That was one of the distractions in the middle of the match between Mandy Rose and Asuka. And then we see Mandy Rose rolling up Asuka to get the very shocking victory, man. So I think that it's going to be Asuka taking on Mandy Rose at Fastlane because Mandy Rose got the victory. Now, I can make some arguments like Asuka hasn't been on TV for almost a month. They've been hiding out, and finally she comes out and she loses. I mean, we can make that argument, but I can understand what WWE is trying to do. They're trying to push Mandy Rose. Everybody knows that WWE management wants Mandy Rose to be one of those champions of the future, like a Alexa Bliss or something like that. So her getting a victory, that wasn't any surprise. I think that Mandy Rose is probably going to lose to Asuka at Fastlane, and it's going to set up a match between Lacey Evans and Asuka at WrestleMania. And I think that WWE have to be very, very careful with this situation, man, because to be honest with you, this could be really racially insensitive. I mean, you think about the type of character that Lacey Evans is, right? Lacey Evans, her character is like basically like a throwback character, like from the 1930s and the 1940s. And we all know what happened in the 1940s, right? That's when the United States got involved with World War II. And anybody knows why the United States got involved in World War II? Well, it's because Pearl Harbor was attacked by the Japanese. And we all know that Asuka is Japanese and Lacey Evans is a throwback from the 30s and 40s. So I'll let you figure that thing out. But I think that it has a great dynamic to it, but they got to be really, really careful, because in this social justice world that we live in right now, you know, people are so quick. Oh my goodness, they so quick to try to pounce on anything they feel like will get them some attention and some clickbait. But I think that's what direction WWE is going to go in. And then we had the main event of the evening. It was a 6-man tag. It was Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston came out after he cut a promo. He was talking about him getting his opportunity. We seen Xavier Woods saying that Kofi Kingston waited 11 years for this moment, and Kofi Kingston was like, it's time for him to go out to the ring and keep this momentum going. And it started a 6-man tag match. Kofi Kingston, Jeff Hardy, and AJ Styles taking on Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, and the WWE champion Daniel Bryan. And before I talk about this match, I really got to say this. Daniel Bryan has reached Eddie Guerrero status in my eyes. I mean, let me explain what I mean by that. Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler of all time. So I use Eddie Guerrero twice during this review. Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler of all time. I loved Eddie Guerrero. I watched Eddie Guerrero, man, so many matches. My favorite match with Eddie Guerrero was Halloween Havoc, when him and Rey Mysterio tore the house down for the Cruiserweight Championship. This is what I mean when I say that Daniel Bryan has reached Eddie Guerrero status. Eddie Guerrero was one of those guys when you loved Eddie Guerrero, when he wanted you to love him, you loved him. When Eddie Guerrero wanted you to hate him, you hated him. I think about when Eddie Guerrero had the whole lie, cheating, and stealing gimmick. And, you know, he used to do all these funny things in order to win matches. And then I think about when he became I'm Your Poppy, Eddie Guerrero, when he was yelling at Vicky Guerrero and his daughters in the back, and when he just became this dastardly villain trying to get custody of Dominique, when he had the feud with Rey Mysterio, when he took Rey Mysterio and hit him with the brain buster on top of the steel steps, and you seen like the blood just trickling from the face of Rey Mysterio and his mask was almost ripped off. You hated yourself some Eddie Guerrero. This is what I see when I see Daniel Bryan. When Daniel Bryan was the yes man coming out there, everybody loved him. He was selling merch like hotcakes. And then now he comes out, he has this whole holier than thou, I'm smarter than you type gimmick. And you're like, man, won't this guy go sit down? And what did it for me was that Elimination Chamber when the crowd was just emotionally invested. I was emotionally invested. I really wanted to see Kofi Kingston win. And when Kofi Kingston jumped off the top of that cell and he missed, and Daniel Bryan hit him with that running knee, I mean, he sucked the wind out of that arena. I said, he the new Eddie Guerrero. I said it. I said he is the new Eddie Guerrero. But he cut a good promo, like he always does, man, doing some of his best promo work. And we had the 6-man tag match. And to be honest with you, it was okay. Wasn't nothing to hoop and holler about, but got the job done. But I do want to say this. I love the fact of the crowd in New Orleans. I like to thank them for saving the reputation of Louisiana, because Lafayette absolutely destroyed. And I mean, people were going in. Does Lafayette, Louisiana realize they were trending worldwide on Twitter because of how bad they were as a crowd? But New Orleans, thank you very much. Thank you, hometown. Thank y'all for showing up and showing out and not sitting on your hands. But this was an okay match. Kofi Kingston pinned Daniel Bryan. He pinned the champion. And then we seen Shane McMahon after the match say that Kofi Kingston, that's right, Kofi Kingston will have a one-on-one match for the WWE Championship against Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. And everybody just went crazy. But let's pump our brakes for a second. Okay, let's pump the brakes. I would love to see Kofi Kingston win the WWE Championship, but the chances of him winning at Fastlane are slim to none. So I want to see Kofi Kingston go to WrestleMania. So I'm hoping that the match ends in like one big schmize, as Bret Hart would say. And, you know, they end up wrestling at WrestleMania and Kofi Kingston wins on the grandest stage of them all. Look, I do not want to see the New Day turn on Kofi Kingston. I don't want to see that, because that would lead to a triple threat match or a handicap match at WrestleMania. Ain't nobody trying to see that. Kofi Kingston has some great momentum, okay? Now, I understand this was Mustafa Ali's spot. I understand that Mustafa Ali was supposed to be in a position that Kofi Kingston is in. But Kofi Kingston, he has seized the moment. This is the same way. I am not comparing Kofi Kingston to this superstar, but it's the same thing that happened with Stone Cold Steve Austin, okay? Stone Cold Steve Austin was not supposed to win the King of the Ring. It was supposed to be for Triple H. But, of course, Triple H got caught up in a drama of the curtain call at Madison Square Garden with Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Shawn Michaels. And the people in the back thought that it would be a bad look if Triple H wins King of the Ring. So everybody said, let's just try Austin instead. And Austin took the ball and ran with it. And, of course, we know about the great promo with him, with Michael P.S. Hayes, saying Austin 3:16 says, I just whip your ass, and the rest is history. Kofi Kingston seized his opportunity. And not only did he do it, he did it in heroic fashion. And now he has the crowd on his side. And hopefully WWE does not drop the ball with this one, because we have seen this so many times when a guy goes out there and he captures the imagination of the audience. WWE says, that's not in the plan. He's not our guy. And they just destroy his momentum. Hopefully, this does not happen with Kofi Kingston. But this has been TJ Knows Wrestling Podcast. Check out TJ Knows Wrestling on Twitter. You can go to Twitter, follow me at TJ Jones 8. That's TJAY Jones 8. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com, search TJ Knows Wrestling. That's right, TJ Knows Wrestling. Thank you for checking out the podcast. Till next time, I'll see you down the road.